Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check 1, 2, 3. This is going to be the first attempt at the first car podcast, the first CCP podcast. I'm going to be picking up Hetty Becca from Hetty Healthy Lifestyle, and we're going to be on our way downtown to Civic Center Park for a hemp festival, I believe is what it is. And along the way, we're going to have a little conversation. This is going to be an experiment to see how it turns out. So I'll need your feedback to let me know. Cannabis Community Project Grind and Burn Car Podcast. The very first ever. Joining me for our ride downtown to Civic Center Park.
New text message from Hetty Becca.
Well, there she is right there, telling me she has arrived. All right, folks, here we go. Let's see how this works. Grind and burn. Open up, Colorado. It's 4:20. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome to the Grind and Burn, a podcast from the Cannabis Community Project. I am Brainstorm, once again bringing you your weekly podcast about the business side of cannabis. From the Ding Studios at 3835 Elm Street, Denver, Colorado, while living the lifestyle. Hey, Cannapreneurs, let me take a second just to tell you about some friends of mine, as well as close sponsors of the show. Cushly Organic Products. The makers of Cushly have been environmental odor control consultants for more than 30 years. Their company puts out products that are used in hospitals, healthcare facilities, clinics, and homes throughout the United States and beyond. Cushly began as a product to help people who were going through chemotherapy and other patients who were in legal states but still not wanting to deal with the odor that medical marijuana brings when it is smoked. So Cushly has invented this very unique product that works like none other. I use it myself, and many of my close friends and family use it. What it does is it eliminates odor. It doesn't mask it. It's not a perfume. It's not a cologne. It eliminates it. And it's organic and it's non-toxic. Please check them out. They're good friends of the show, and there's a reason for that. It's because I only keep the best around my team, and Cushly is one of the best. www.cushly.com. Also find them on Facebook and other social media under the same name, Cushly Organic Products. Okay, exit.
Hello, I'm Ryan with Viz.Red, and we've been talking about the Morley Vineyard Project. We're working with a historian from the Colorado Fuel and Iron Museum in Pueblo, and he's been helping us locate some of the treasures that might be buried underground. There's what was at one time a fully functional substation down there with 4 giant steam-powered generators, the untold amounts of mine carts and other tools, medical stations all throughout it, and miles and miles of tunnels. I think God only knows what's in there. We're going to be taking sunlight and then using these SHA 256, miners or hardware, computer hardware that works at one algorithm. We're going to generate money from sunlight. I suppose it's a viable condition. The state gave me a card for it, but
A card that says you have a condition?
No. They gave me a medical marijuana card. Same thing, I guess.
You're right. It says you got something.
Plan to kick life's ass. I mean, come on, 25. Just turned 25. Cinco de Mayo. And we own a town. Our company is great. We're doing all sorts of crazy shit. They're saving the world.
South of Trinidad, exit 6 through 2. Hang out. Bring a shovel. We need some land moved around, some rocks moved around.
Yeah, come dig. I'll put you to work.
If you got any skills, you know how to build stuff, you got any ideas about landscaping, ideas for bed and breakfast, ideas for growing, ideas for grape growing, vines, ideas for energy production and installation, skills, talents, ideas, people, right? The human resource.
Effort. If you're willing to put in some effort for, if you believe in what we're doing or believe that in the future we could do something very positive for humans, then please, by all means, join us.
Very good. Ryan, I appreciate your time today. This is, like always, been informational and fun.
It's always a lesson.
Now let's go have a long conversation about dominium systems.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. How long have you been listening to the show? Long enough to know that it's your show, and all you got to do to be on it is just reach out to us at cannabiscommunityproject.com or email brainstorm@cannabiscommunityproject.com. Hey, Cannapreneurs! This week's show is sponsored by Dairy Berry's Recording Studio. Here she is waiting very diligently. Need a ride?
Yeah. Are you driving my way?
Jump on in. Oh, you can sit up front. That's how we do it nowadays.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
All right.
I'm free the rest of the day. I don't have to be a wife or a mother for the rest of the day.
Walking barefoot with open wounds.
Let's see. We built a Willie ordered a greenhouse. I put that up in the last couple of weeks.
Can you start growing?
Yeah.
Really?
And well, vegetables and stuff.
Oh,
So both cannabis and.
that's still just as exciting.
So we're going to grow at least 2 plants.
Still just as exciting. Just 2? Not going to do the 6?
Well, you can only have 3 in one stage at a time. And
That would be 6. 3 in and 3 in the other stage.
Oh, yeah. That's too much work. We'll start with 2.
Yeah, but what if 2 die?
The things in dreams that you can't touch. Whatever this race is, darling, I'm not fast enough. And I'm still standing.
Is this thing going on down at Civic Center?
It's the 420 relay that rescheduled. So.
That's cool.
Or
You have to have tickets?
No. It's free to get
It's
in.
in the open park.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to get, they have viewing areas.
Where you, go and stare at celebrities?
I guess. So it's $50 to get in limited one and then $150 for a VIP.
There it is. Like at a zoo? Wait a minute. So people pay you money just to come look at you?
I don't
Isn't that
know.
called porn?
We meet there in dresses and bows, dreaming of being grown, dreaming of being grown.
You have your floor, and then you have your upfront cool rich people.
Exactly.
And that's how you should structure all things that you do. You have the free shit, the stuff that people semi-pay for, and then the stuff that people really
We
pay
want to pay
for.
for it, right?
Yeah.
Our mothers were young, our fathers taught us hard work. But sometimes you make me feel too much.
I love it.
What's it called, the place?
A Joya. Go check it out.
Where
Do
is
you have
that?
your medical cards?
Yeah.
Come see me.
Where's it?
It's Lakewood.
Lakewood and what?
Colfax. It's east of Colorado Mills.
Clover and dandelions.
The best thing I like about a Joya is that I'm not really a bud tender. I'm a receptionist.
Oh.
So it's really cool. I get to talk to everybody that comes in the door. And the thing is, it's an open store, so you can come in and just hang out in the shop. You don't.
Like they don't have a low security glass window
Nope.
that you have to slide your card under, a two-way mirror,
Nope.
do the whole signing of the forms just to get through the door.
Exactly. And then they work with my hours. So I tell them when I want to work.
Whatever this race is, darling, I'm not fast enough. And I'm still stranded trying to catch up. And I'm still stranded trying to catch up. And I'm still.
Does this have an official name yet?
I'm going to say Twisted.
Just Twisted.
Don't.
All right. So standing outside the new entrance of Twisted with Jay Griffin, owner of Dink, Colorado Premier Dispensary, medical recreational, around the corner at the new, what are we saying? It's a media? What's the name of?
Industry events is the best way to describe it.
All right. So an industry event center, location, building. We'll figure that out. Get it all worked out.
Center. Twisted. Events with a twist.
But events with a twist. I like that. That comes off. We're standing at the entrance getting ready to walk through. City updates on the remodeling, construction. How long has it been under process here? Month? 2 months?
Well, we've tried to go as fast as we can, but it's probably all in a 2-month period of time that we didn't have to do too much to the space, but we are happy to offer it to the industry.
Nice. Well, let's take a look and see how much we have left. So the goal is by next month to have the first live event in location.
Yes, Women Grow have been working with us, and we're a cornerstone sponsor of Women Grow. They have a monthly meeting that we're going to start hosting here, and we'll probably sign a 6-month contract with them to provide it. That draws as many as 100 people.
Nice. A large growing organization that's national, I believe, right?
They sure are. They're national. They have a real strong local presence. Different states run their own chapters. So yeah, this is the space. 2,000 square feet.
That's the entire building, or
That's
this?
the space. That's the event space. And we're going to have a good music system and video projection on the wall here. 2,000 square feet is good for 166 classroom settings. So this space will be good for anywhere up to, per code, it can fit about 250 in here.
Now,
Standing.
Standing, okay.
Yeah, so more likely it'd be something that your events that are going to range from 50 to 150 people are probably going to be real good in here. So we'll have a classroom style settings. There's a little bit of extra space that'll allow for vendors to set up booths and different expos. So we'll start having a fall and spring expo as part of the Denver Consulting Group that will bring in different speakers.
And what is the update on the smoking situation?
Inside is illegal to smoke, and outside it's illegal to consume cannabis. So there still has to be some legislation that's approved for that to happen more freely. Until such time, all the events are private. So you have to be invited to the event, and you have to purchase tickets showing that it's a private event. So at that point, then we're allowed to partake.
Everything will be cross-promoted with the dispensary. As people are purchasing over there, they'll be made aware of events that are happening.
Yeah,
There'll be a lot of
I really see like a big thing where there's a lot of people. A lot of nonprofits need the space. A lot of nonprofits need space to generate momentum, to have meetings, to generate money and fundraisers, as well as educational outreach for their constituents.
You're not offering the space for free, right?
Well, I mean, there's a discount for nonprofits. Okay. We do have a for-profit business model of it, just to recoup some of the costs. But I don't anticipate it's going to be a giant moneymaker. It's mainly providing space for the community, space that's needed.
Right. It supports kind of all the other activities that are the revenue makers. It's kind of in space. Everybody needs space, right? Because everybody wants to do something. Are you still planning on doing a stage?
I think we're having a rollaway stage that'll be here in this area. Okay. So that's where the higher power.
Are you going to have a built-in PA system?
We have a PA. Won't be necessarily built in, but yeah.
But one where if somebody were to come do music or something, they plug play. They don't have to bring their own setup.
Plug and play.
Plug and play. Yeah. Cool. That's a pretty good roll. Your
so
boys at the shop are getting pretty good at
We bought this new roller from Futurola. It's called the Knox box. So it has a system where it rolls 200 joints at once.
Ooh, I got to see that.
And it rolls those 200 with prep time in a half hour.
Can I get a short video of that?
Well, I don't think it's running right now, but we can check.
What is it?
Back.
What is it like?
It's just this big, and it has a system of vibratory elements that shake it and pack it, and you fill it like halfway. Put a half gram in each one.
So it just shakes it into it.
So I think it does a really good job. Of course, the efficiency we were able to cut that in half. So what was a lengthy all day type of process, we get the same amount rolled in half that.
Are people asking for a lot of joints? Or just like giveaway type thing?
Oh my gosh, we saw a lot of joints. Saw our 1 gram joints for $10 each. Yeah, but we see a lot of joints being bought. We have a really good rewards program, so locals and people that are nearby, they'll just come in and buy a joint, for their after work hang, and then do it again the next day. So they just come in and buy a joint. Yeah, we're I would say probably still dialing it in, but I've seen some. All right, so that's the entrance.
This is where the doorman stands.
Welcome to Twisted.
Where the guy in the windbreaker stands with the clipboard, the turtleneck.
We're thinking we'd have like an iPad that would you would sign in when you came.
Oh, maybe you could hook it up to a magnet release where upon successful sign-in, it releases the magnet lock, right? I'm sure that would be a simple app that probably already exists where you just, get one of those magnet locks and then the iPad on the side of the door, and upon successful entry, it just releases the magnet lock, and then once it closes, it'll just lock again.
God. Because right now it's like, okay, somebody rents the event, and let's say they wrap up it.
Oh, like you wouldn't host it, you would just leave it to them. Like give them the keys and say...
Hey, we're trying to figure that out. Like, would you do a lockbox out there and then have the person responsible? Or does somebody from our group have to be here to close it down?
Like an apartment complex, right? So I rented our clubhouse last week. I had to pay a $250 deposit, and then I had to pay $100 for the day. Yeah. And then they give me the fab key. And then basically it's I leave it the way I find it kind of deal. And they give me the key the night before it's mine. I can pick it up, and then I return it, the day after it ends. And they return my deposit check like 2-3 days later, after somebody does a walkthrough. I would assume that would be the model one would follow for just kind of rental type situations, like a hall type place, like a hall type place.
We're not hosting it, but
right. So somebody's giving you a deposit check, and you're giving them a terms of conditions, and then a time frame, charging a rate plus deposit, giving them maybe the Wi-Fi access and the door password. And I bet with that type of system, you could even have you could maybe limit 50 people max, and once 50 independent entries are accessed, and they've, with an app, I bet you could program it or get it programmed in almost any.
Yeah, if like your building capacity is a certain point, then it would just lock at that point.
Like you could literally assign every attendee their own personal entry code, and that person could enter and leave with their own code, but once the maximum attendees for that event have been reached, the door wouldn't open for any other codes. Right? I'm sure you could program...
Sorry, you're not coming in.
Right, and I'm sure there's all sorts of ways to program it, and a lot of that would probably depend on maybe what your legal advice says your insurance company and your lawyer tell you.
I like that too. We're talking about how that privatizes it and creates that user group. Like all those people then are on this private list.
Right.
Like it's not ever broadcast to the public.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, that was the Dink Update Insider, right? DUI. I guess you're the insider.
Take me away.
All right, man. Next month, the first event.
Yep. More on that later.
You're obligated to that.
Thanks, we appreciate you. You can count.
You're obligated to that event. We'll announce it.
Now that you need me, baby,
I love cannabis.
Hello, my name is Aaron Rydell. I am the co-founder of Salt Creek Hemp Co. in Colburn, Colorado, and we're changing the world one hemp plant at a time.
I've lived in Colorado most of my life. I do not know where that is.
It's a very common reaction. It is on the western slope of Colorado, approximately 30 miles from Grand Junction, back this way in a remote little valley called the Plateau Valley.
Off of the 70 interstate?
Yes, you would get off at DeBeck and head straight south towards the Grand Mesa, and that would lead you to Plateau Valley, which is the gorgeous little gem that nobody has discovered, and hence the fact that even you don't know about it.
I've never heard of the town, but I can vouch for that area of Colorado being very gorgeous.
Yes,
that part is its own unique look. It has a lot of bleed over from Utah. It has its own unique look that I think is very beautiful. And people usually drive through the mountains, but I say you should also drive through that Grand Junction I-70 area. Very beautiful over there.
We're fortunate. We're at a neat spot where it is that carryover from Utah, but also the lushness with the trees, and everybody does hay and everything in that valley. So it's this gorgeous green valley kind of surrounded by lunar landscape, if you will.
And people are really growing the wineries out there. Yeah, they're really making that area kind of a hip place to be.
Yes, the Palisade area just up the Colorado River from us is winery, peaches. Everybody's heard of Palisade Peaches. There's some really neat stuff. I was actually just in Palisade the other day. It's just up the road from us, and there's some neat little breweries, distilleries, things just popping up, and it's kind of neat. It's all that small farm, small ranch, small acreage, orchards, wineries.
You're describing it beautifully, and it probably has to do with your business.
We are actually hemp farmers.
Hemp farmers.
Yes. Okay. Salt Creek Hemp Co. is our hemp farming operation that we started last year. We started something called the Dew Branch, which is also located at our ranch. D-U-B-E. D-U-B-E. Okay. Yeah, a little play on the Dude Ranch, but at the Dew Branch. So we've started that. We formed that corporation just this year. And yeah, we're expanding into a bed and breakfast that really has just unlimited potential. If you're very interested in the hemp industry, you can be out there walking through a hemp field and helping. If you have no interest and you're on vacation and you literally want to sit on the porch and smoke a J and read a book, that's totally fine too.
What a great place, other than just a 30-minute drive from Moab, to have that type of setup, right?
We're a little farther from Moab than that. Okay. We're about 30 from Grand Junction.
Okay.
Coming back this way, though. So we're actually closer to Denver than Grand Junction, just a hair.
Because there's no real road that cuts straight across. You have to go to Grand Junction and then back. There's no cut across road.
There is. You can cut off at DeBeck, Colorado. So you're cruising down I-70. You cruise Rifle, Parachute, and then DeBeck would be the next small, unmentionable town before there's a big, long canyon running along the river to Junction. So we're a little closer, but I mean, for all practical purposes, same drive time as going to Grand Junction.
Well, I mean, tourism is a great industry in general.
Yes.
But to make it a cannabis tourism industry has got to be a gold mine. Maybe not yet, but you have to have some.
We'll see. The main goal is to not place constraints on people. I mean, if you want to come out, if you came out to the ranch and you never smoked anything, I don't care. No. If you came out and you did, great too. I mean, that's not the biggest focus. We're really more concerned with the education and people just being able to come somewhere. I get so many questions about hemp farming, and I'm not an expert either. I've just started not that long ago.
How long ago?
We've grown now a couple years. Last year was our big year as far as for us, 1 acre, which you heard Rick talking about 1,500 to 3,000 acres. But when you consider that it took like $4,000 worth of seeds to plant that 1 acre, you can see where it's hard to get in the game, if you will.
But my question is, what are you doing with that one? I mean, what do you do with it? So you have an acre of hemp. What are you doing? Are you selling it? Are you just Is it a novelty? Is it?
Last year was Hemp University. We were learning last year. We had to establish that the ground could actually produce hemp. It had been hayfields, so nobody had ever grown hemp there. Nobody around us was growing hemp other than a CBD operation with the heavily manicured soil, the nutrients added, all that. We wanted to go for a more traditional hemp crop.
Did you buy up this land for this purpose?
It was a family ranch, actually, that was for sale and not selling. it was breaking our hearts to see it possibly leave the family, and we came up with this option. We'll see if it all works out, but we didn't go after investors. We're doing this all bootstrap and doing it on our own.
So what do you plan then to do once you have a grow going and maybe some guests coming through the house and you have some business moving? What is the ultimate plan, to then focus on one or the other, or still try to be a grower and tourist host?
So with a ranch, I don't believe anything will ever carry a ranch, any one thing. You can do cows, but meat can go down that year. Any of a million different things you do with ranches, there isn't just one aspect that usually will carry a ranch. Definitely our goal this year, we're doing 20 acres. So we're up in our hemp production by 20. Not a huge step for your Rick guys, but for us, it's
20 times more.
20 times more. More product to deal with, because that was a problem with 1 acre, is you just don't have enough material for anybody to really do anything with. So, and for us, the big thing was to take 8 pounds of seeds and turn it into 600 pounds of seeds.
Absolutely. When you talk to people, you can say, hey, my company's grown 20 times.
Exactly.
Last year.
Exactly. Exactly.
They don't
So
have to know the specifics.
Well, and it's just cool, too. I mean, you're more than welcome to come out and see us anytime. It's so neat to walk around in a hemp field and just experience it. And then, with the grid strains and the stuff that we're looking at developing, because that's where we'll go with the farming aspect, the agriculture aspect, is we do want to bring hemp to the Western Slope on a big level. And get to those 1,500, 2,000 acre, even if it's not on our land. We want to help everybody get there.
You have an angle, whereas just being a hemp farmer, there's no angle there. You're just trying to be a hemp farmer. Mm-hmm. You have an angle where you're trying to incorporate the tourism with a hemp doob ranch, which gives you something, right?
Totally.
To just say you're going to be a hemp farmer, it would be a lot of... like, hey, there you go, good for you.
Yeah, right on, man. Good luck starting the tractor.
Right. But you have an angle, which I think is the life of any business. You have something that you're putting there. You're saying, come out to a doob ranch, get involved in hemp production, sit on the porch, be part of this experience. Which could be a good business.
Well, be as involved or as uninvolved as you want. It's your vacation. If you're coming out and you're a guest at the ranch and you want to be waited on hand and foot, you'll be waited on hand and foot. If you don't ever want to do anything with the fields, or you just want somebody to take you out in a boat or do something like that, like a normal vacation, you can totally do that. I mean, we don't want to place any constraints on people.
Maybe you can give people name tags that have a title.
Worker or no worker.
Right.
Worker
like
bee.
Housemaster, where you just sit on the porch and you can...
Literally, it's a small enough environment. I mean, we don't have the lodging to have 100 people there or anything like that anyway. Right. So, I mean, it wouldn't be on that aspect. But yeah, I mean, it's such a magical place. The ranch is, to us, obviously, it's been in the family and we've been around it longer than most. It's a magical place to us, and for people to actually be able to come there and be part of everything, and we're used to having family and friends and gatherings all the time anyway. To add a few more, what do they always say? What's a few more, right? And to think of, we've been over here in the Front Range living for the last 10 years and watching it get more packed and more everything is, for people to have a place to go and maybe get away from that. Because we love Denver, don't get me wrong. But, man, I tell you what, it's pretty peaceful out at the ranch.
Well, there's a therapeutic aspect of walking through a field, right?
Totally.
Just walking through and kind of touching the plants and sitting there and being amongst them is very therapeutic. And that in itself is almost a business, right? Charging people $10 to stand in the middle of your hemp field.
It could be. I mean, gosh, I know last year, it's funny, we only did that 1 acre and we did it right next to the road. Right next to the road. And every local stopped and talked to us at that fence. Why did you guys plant it next to the road? Because we're not doing anything wrong.
Great marketing.
And the best part was, we had the best conversations ever at that fence last year. And it actually inspired us to hold a small open house last year, which it brought the locals in. Everybody that had been asking questions, we finally just said, hey, you know what? Show up Sunday. We'll have a little barbecue. We'll have a thing in the barn. We'll get some people out. With hemp, the problem is that information. It's just, I feel like Wikipedia when I'm cruising around, just talking to people, just constantly explaining what hemp is versus marijuana. Because unfortunately, marijuana has overshadowed everything in Colorado. Hemp's almost like when I go home to Wisconsin and people are constantly like, oh yeah, dude, I'm a total hemp connoisseur too. And I'm like, no, you just smoke weed, which is cool. Hemp's, it's our other thing. and it's big.
Common theme of everybody that sat in that chair today.
Oh my God!
One of the first things that they talk about is
the constant education.
Right, the necessity and the educating, getting that out there, and it seems to be something that's obviously everybody is thinking about. You're not the first person to say that, so.
Well, and that's a goal. I mean, like an event like today, just as Paul said when I was speaking, you're preaching the choir here. Everybody that's at this event today already understands what hemp is, the importance, the power, everything that needs to go along with it. It's that general public, that day-to-day. I mean, gosh, I know some weeks I'm sitting there shaking my head at the end of the week going, like, how many times did I repeat 0.3 THC level, non-psychoactive, you know?
Yeah, but still, right, that's the comeback.
Oh, and I'll never stop. Never
but
stop.
still,
You know,
yeah,
you
but
want to make a
still.
T-shirt and just be like, well, read my shirt. Oh, wait, nobody takes time to read anymore. Okay, I'll tell you about it.
Nobody listens anymore.
So, I mean, yeah, we totally want to continue all that education out there for sure.
Well, I think that's the angle. If it were my property, that's the angle I would take, is I would take it as an educational branch, just like what you're doing. I would grow the hemp more as a marketing and novelty to accompany the tourism, because to try to grow hemp with an expectation of making money for hemp, you know, you probably have already well thought through that.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope,
Yeah.
for sure. It is, and it's not for the weak of heart, if you're faint of heart, if you will, because there's no gold mine on the other end of the hill. I mean, yes, some of these heavily funded operations are turning a profit and doing well. You know, I know a few small guys that are doing all right, but it's not about that.
What's a nightly stay give me? What's a price, and what do I get with a nightly stay? How does it work?
You know, we don't have a price schedule right yet because I don't have the hot tub up and running. It's sitting there. It needs to be hooked up. So, you know, we want people to be comfortable. If you've been hiking all day. We've been tossing around, and actually we're doing a lot of R&D right now, and we're actually counting on people to come out and pretty much stay free of charge right now. Give us feedback as we develop this. As I said, it just got incorporated, and we're up and running. We had a very long battle to get our land secured and everything done that needed to be done. We're just literally wiping our brows from that, and then charging hard again with getting the accommodations and everything ready. I would say in your ballparks on like maybe a weekend, depending on what you were expecting as far as food additions, because it's really would be a custom catered adventure, if you will. I'd have to say pricing would be depending on package. You know, you show up with your cooler of beer and your BLTs and you just want a camping spot, you're probably hanging out for $30-40 a night. You know, you want the creme de la creme house and you want to be hanging out in a hot tub with a glass of Cristal, yeah, it might cost you a little bit more. So
Well, where would somebody start to get some of this information? Do you have a website?
we have Salt Creek Hemp Co. right now is up and running. It's been going for about a year now. The Do Branch, we're just finalizing all of our logo and all of our stuff. So I would say to keep your eyes posted for the Do Branch. It will be showing up as that. It will be the dobranch.com. So keep your eyes posted. We are very reachable. If you needed something right now and you wanted to, like, say, come out on a weekend or two and hang out, literally catch us on saltcreekhempco.com, or I'm Aaron at schempco.com for an email. And we're very reachable. Anybody in the industry, David, everybody else knows how to get a hold of us as well. So right now we're counting on word of mouth. The big launch will probably be, I'm thinking June. May, June, as everybody's starting to, it's warming up and everybody wants to start coming out mountain biking and stuff, we should be fully flashed up and able to actually accept people, because there's a lot of facets to it. We're doing a lot of our own grown vegetables, so there's not a lot of restaurants in Colburn. So you would be eating a lot of farm to table, and we already know several chefs that are very interested in coming out. As the season goes along, we want to incorporate hemp into that. It's like a 10-step plan, and we're about 2.5 steps into it right now, and it's looking awesome. And I hate to do a lot of bragging without, a lot to show for it, but
I can see the idea. I can see it. Even though it's in an unfinished state, I can clearly see the idea. I think it's great.
well, that's good. I'm glad that you can see that, and I would welcome you to come out anytime and experience it so that you can share that idea. Because one thing when I do talk to people and they always talk, oh man, this sounds so cool, I'm like, all right, but if you can't take the time to come out here and actually see how cool this is, I mean, it's great that I have good dialogue and I can build an idea for you. Please, by all means, spread the word. We love having people come out, and that's the initial opening, is to get people to come out, give us feedback, and then also just see what we got going on and get jazzed about it if they want, and know that they can come out there anytime. Like, oh man, I had a really good time out at Salt Creek, and I want to go back out and camp there and walk through the hemp fields again, or they had this really neat trail that I found for my mountain bike. bike, or I really enjoyed fishing in their stream, or whatever, you know.
I accept. Okay. You're obligated.
Not a problem. It's on tape. You can always just go, Aaron, I've got it on tape.
With me and hold it up.
So, no,
Cool,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing how it develops. And please take my card so you can...
definitely.
When you have like an official launch or something going on, make sure to let me know so maybe we can help kind of let it be known through the show also.
Definitely. And a big thing that we are pushing is we are doing Hemp on the Slope in July 30th of 2016. We're teaming up with Colorado Hemp Company, Morris and Liz, and they're actually helping us produce another small event this year. It seems like, based on the feedback, it might actually be a larger event than I figured. Nice. Everybody seems very excited to come. There's a very strong foothold running through this front range of hemp and CBD guys. We're just trying to get everybody on the Western Slope together too.
I'm going to be right there with everybody.
Perfect. Well, we would love to have you, and so an invitation to stay and an invitation to come out and hang out.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That's all I got for you this week, Cannapreneurs. Thank you for listening in, and thank you to everybody that's been supporting this community over the years. Keep following us after the show on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Mass Roots. We're out there. You can find us just about anywhere, even YouTube. So make sure to come back next week and join us for another show where we'll be discussing more topics, interviewing more guests, and this is getting bigger because of you. We'll see you next week.